The National Coalition of 100 Black Women Delaware Chapter presents Sisters Saving Sisters Beyond the Mask. In keeping with our mission to advocate on behalf of Black women and girls in the areas of health, education, and economic empowerment, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Delaware Chapter has been awarded a CARES Health Equity Grant. This grant has been used to develop culturally competent and relevant strategies, programs, and materials to address the impact of COVID-19 on African American women. Our goal is to provide resources that speak directly to the needs and the concerns of Black women in Delaware. We aim to provide a network of support during this time of uncertainty. In Delaware, 82% of Black mothers are key family breadwinners. Given existing wealth and wage disparities, it is far more likely that Black women will have a harder time recovering from both the health as well as the economic impact of the pandemic. Please join us for Sisters Saving Sisters Beyond the Mask.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments in a life. That comes from a song called The Seasons of a Life, and it counts the number of moments that are in a year, and it's counted in daylights and sunsets and cups of coffee. Each moment of each year are precious for whatever season we find ourselves in. My name is Kim Graham, and I'm going to be your host as we take a journey and talk about the seasons of our own lives, in particular seasons of loss and grief. We have not been at this pandemic for 525,000 moments, but we're close. Over 400,000 moments we have spent battling this pandemic. It is tiring. It can weigh on us. And we have all experienced loss of something, loss of time, loss of outside. I'm a summer baby. I have lost the beach, and I'm really, really sad about it. And all of this is painful for many because they have lost loved ones that are dear to them. And particularly during this time of Christmas and Thanksgiving, when we often think of our loved ones that have gone before us, it's important that we give honor to that pain. And we give honor to those losses, whether they are of loved ones or of time or job or sense of connection, because they all take our toll on our lives. Now, we're going to talk about chasing away the blues. So I think what's really cool is that the blues are a perfect metaphor for this conversation, because the blues are a mix of spirituals. They're a mix of work songs. They're a mix of call and response. They tell tales of longing, which are all involved in that experience of loss. But there's something so soulful about the blues. There's something that's in the blues that still makes you hope and dream for better. So somehow or another, you can both grasp the blues and allow them to chase away the sadness in our lives. We're going to have an opportunity to listen to some sultry sounds of the blues, reminding us that every day just ain't how we want it to be.
I feel like shit, and I'm in the thick of it, trying to keep my head 'Cause facing reality takes all of the strength right out of me. And then we're right here. Whoa, and then we're right here. I've got the right to complain. No need to explain. Got some shit on my brain, and I'm totally freaking drained. 'Cause facing reality takes all of the strength right out of me. And then we're right here. Whoa, and then we're right here. And you don't know the half, just what I want you to see. Not my stress level rising, and not my hair falling off of me. They say the Lord's gonna work it out, 'cause I need Him right now. I feel like shit. Oh, I feel like shit. 'Cause facing reality takes all of the strength right out of me. And then we're right here. Oh, and then we're right here.
We're going to have a conversation about grief. We all experience it. It's very hard to define, and most of us avoid talking about it, though it is often very present in our lives. There's a woman that talked about an experience that her doctor relayed to her. He said that grief is like a ball in a box with a button. The grief is the ball, the button is our pain, and the box is you and I. And when we first experience grief, it doesn't take much for this ball to hit that button and remind us of our pain. And in fact, it's as if it is ever present and there's nothing that we can do about it to escape it. But eventually, the ball gets smaller and it shrinks. And even though it may move around in the box, we're able to go days, months, maybe even years. But every once in a while, our grief may hit that button. So the thing about it is to remember that it is a journey and that it is a process, and that even though it may be very painful and even feel unbearable at the present time, that eventually our grief will subside enough for us to be able to continue on with our day-to-day life and our day-to-day goals. Now, you probably have all heard people talk about the stages of grief, because it does not hit us all at once, and it certainly doesn't hit us all in the same way. But there can be this sense of denial, this sense of confusion that it's even occurring. And again, that's whether we learn that someone has died or is dying, or whether it's your job or the loss of a relationship. And then what happens oftentimes is we go through a phase of bargaining. We want to know, is there something that we can do to cause this grief to go away, to prevent the loss from taking place? And we will go back and forth in our hearts and our minds. We'll try to figure out, is there something that we could do, that we could have done? And this can often give way to what feels like unbearable sadness and depression as we sit with that feeling. And it can manifest itself physically. We can have headaches, we can have pains in our stomach, because what we feel in our brain manifests in our body. And oftentimes we'll take this box and we'll sit it aside. And while that may work for time to time, the reality is the box is still there. We may take a glimpse at it, we may walk past it, but it is still present in our lives. But after a while, it's kind of like the light comes. We start getting glimpses of our old self, of even our old emotions and our joy. And sometimes right about here, guilt can set in. You can often hear people feeling like they don't want to let the joy back in, because if they do, they may lose remembrance or memory of the person that they love or care for. And I was just thinking today, I can't think of any person that would leave this earth and not want their loved ones to return to a state of joy. There are many things that can help us to make that journey a little easier. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but there's been research that has shown that when we honor those that we have lost, and when we honor the emotions and the pain that goes along with it, it actually helps us to manage it a little bit better. So how do we cope with this grief? We face it. We can face it with those that are around us, but anyone that has had a major loss in their lives know that there are moments where you will handle it in your own space with you and the divine. And so it's really a great opportunity to allow yourself to draw closer to the things that matter to you the most. They can help to recreate a sense of meaning in your life when you're facing that overwhelming loss. Love yourself a little bit extra. Give yourself a little more time because you need it. Be careful about blaming yourself for little things, because what happens is that box on the shelf keeps building and building and building, and it pops up in other places. We often express our pain to those that are around us if we don't face it on our own. Remembering what was good and beautiful about the person that we loved or the thing that we have transitioned away from can help to honor its remembrance and its place in our heart. When we are walking through grief, we need those that are around us to show us love and to uplift us. I was thinking the other day that it's very interesting. In my faith tradition, they refer to wailing women. I learned two things. I've read the scriptures in many times about the wailing women, but it comes from an Egyptian tradition. The Hebrews had spent so much time in Egypt, they had learned some of their traditions and ways. And so wailing women were professional mourners. They would go to funerals and they would encourage the family. They would mourn, they would cry out loud, they would beat their chest. The thought was that because their grief was so outward, it would create a safe space for their loved ones to be able to openly shed their own emotions. It created a space for catharsis. And you know, in our faith traditions, they may vary, but there's always this gathering of friends and family. There's often the breaking of bread. There's often space to give honor to the departed. And in the process, we create a space for people to manage their pain and their sorrow. That is so important in this process, to know that you are never completely alone. As we move through the grief process, there become glimmers of light and glimmers of joy that return. So all through the journey, we just have to own where we are. We're going to share with you an opportunity to become your own poet, your own storyteller, your own playwright. We have created a very short series of prompts that will give each of you the opportunity to share your thoughts and emotions. There are phrases such as I am, I feel, I want, I dream. And you can complete them as you choose, with a single phrase, with a word, with a sentence. And so we're going to share with you a few completed pieces to serve as inspiration and encouragement as you create your own works. Reflection, giving voice to your emotions, is a very powerful way of allowing them to grow and then take wings as we chase them away. Another powerful metaphor or vision to think about when we talk about grief is the life cycle of plants. We all enjoy a beautiful spring, summer day when we see the buds first breaking the soil, and we all love the heat of the summer when plants are full of life. And we know that as we go through Thanksgiving, we use it as an opportunity for harvest, and it represents the earth bearing all of its fruits. But there is a winter. There is a time when there's no more fruit, when there's no more leaves. Now, to the outside eye, it looks as if nothing is going on. But beneath the surface, there is a rebuilding, there is a refueling, there is a re-energizing that goes on in the life of that plant as it prepares for the new coming spring. And when we talk about seeds that go into the ground, the harshness of the season is necessary for those seeds that bud in the winter, because the ground has to get cold enough to break the seed coat in order that they would even take root. Sometimes the pain in our lives, the losses that we are facing, are serving to break that seed coat so that beautiful life can come from even our times of loss. Being able to be reflective and think about our lessons learned, to hear the silence of our heart, to feel our own breath in the midst of pain is powerful. It keeps us from being numb. So we're going to take a moment and go through the experience of connecting with ourselves as we participate in a guided meditation.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for our meditation and motion practice today. My name is Ikira Peace, and I will be the one that will be guiding you in this meditative movement. Our practice today is an ode to honoring what we feel in our body, because what we feel matters. It is a reflection of our emotional state, our mental state, our physical state, and our spiritual state. Now please join me first in cleansing our space with a nice deep cleansing breath. On my count, inhale, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale in. And exhale it out. Bring presence into our space. All right. And we are affirming today. I am powerfully connected to myself. Repeat that to yourself. I am powerfully connected to myself. And we're going to honor it. Now let's inhale in. And we're going to open the door to our practice. Invite in our affirmation. I am powerfully connected to myself. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. Cleansing exhale through the mouth. Once more, big wave up. Exhale, twinkle it down. Hold it here and breathe. Inhale, inhale it in. Exhale it out. Inhale it in. And exhale out. We are going to use our hands as our vessels. These hands are going to cleanse your space. With pats, we are going to release what does not serve us in this space. We're going to inhale, inhale it in. Allow your hands to be vessels, and we're going to pat. Let's get your heart space. Get your core, your powerhouse. Let's bring it down to the legs. Whatever does not serve you, we are releasing it out. Let's get your back, the backs of your legs, and now those feet. What does not belong here, get it out of here. Let's get our shoulder blades. Lots of stress gets held back there. And our hips, where all of our emotions get kept. And now we're going to brush it smooth. Lots of releasing, making space. With all of the vigorous padding, we want to be sure to offer us some love and comfort and balance. Get that heart space, your core, those hips. Get your feet. Let's bring it up to our throat. Lots of love in our throat. The back of our head, and now our crowns. All right, now on my count, we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. 3, 2, 1, inhale it up. Hold this breath here. And on your exhale, you're going to drop, release. On my count, bring it up. 3, 2, 1, inhale it up. Affirm to yourself, I am powerfully connected to myself. And release. Once more, scoop it up. Hold it up. And now release. Roll the shoulders back. And roll them forward. Invite the hands up. And bring them down. Straight through your energy field. We're going up. And exhale in. Bring it in. And again, bring it up. Exhale. Bring all of that cleansing, comforting energy in. Once more, bring it up. Exhale, bring it in. Now, how we feel in our body matters. All of our pains, our hurts are equally as important as all of our joys. And to conclude our practice, we're going to initiate that balance with yin-yang arms. You may follow me. Let's make a ball. Exhale, open your arms out. Inhale, bring them in. And flip the hands. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to bring them in. And now we're going to reverse. Other way. Inhale, exhale, expand. Once more, inhale, exhale, expand. Find the ball. Inhale it in. Exhale, release it open. Once more, inhale, bring it in. Exhale, release. Once more with our affirmation. I am powerfully connected to myself. Say it, post it. I am powerfully connected to myself. How you feel in your body matters. It is a reflection of you. Check in with your body. Check in with you. The light in me always honors the light in you. Namaste. Close your door.
There are just certain words that cause an immediate, almost physical response in us. And one such word is ritual. Most of us have some image that goes back to some ancient place where we see people doing things that might be harmful or that we consider spooky or however we would define it. But we are people of habit, and habits performed regularly are really rituals. We have a morning ritual. We get up, we brush our teeth, we make our breakfast, we make our bed. The different things that we do are all forms of ritual. And when it comes to honoring those that have transitioned from this plane, we're all most familiar with the public ritual of funerals. We go to them, we celebrate the loss of those that we loved. We gather afterwards to break bread together. We go to the burial site. Those are all forms of rituals. There's a lot of research out there that shows that when we allow ourselves to partake in rituals, it actually helps with the healing process. Some people may think that to purposefully engage in talking about grief and talking about loss brings on pain and sadness, and it does. But what they have also found is that we use rituals in the process, it actually lessens the sense of pain and the length of time that we feel it. So what are some examples of personal rituals? They can be as simple as washing your loved one's car on a regular basis, or reading a book that they loved to read, or watching a movie that you used to watch together. There are all kinds of ways to take those special moments to remember those that we care about. And they all seem to help us embrace and let go at the same time. Kind of like this candle. This is an example of a very simple ritual that we can do, lighting a candle in the name of someone that we love. Because a candle reminds us that there is light in darkness. The naked human eye can see a candle burning from miles away on a dark night. So even in the midst of our pain, our loved ones can send their love and energy to us. Candles represent eternal light. Our loved ones are never really far from us. They're only in another dimension and as close as a thought, a smile, or a tear. So as we end our time together, we are going to have the opportunity to honor someone or something that we have lost that we would like to lift up in remembrance, that we would like to hold dear to us and share the light of love in their honor. And so we're going to do that together on today. And in the chat, you're going to see a link that will allow you to join us for the live portion of this workshop, where we will be able to share together and connect as we chase away our blues.